So last week, the finale for Obi-Wan Kenobi dropped, and I have pretty good things to say about it. So with that being said, please know that everything that I will say in this video is just my very own opinion. My name is SW Nation, and you are free to comment down below your very own opinion on Obi-Wan Kenobi. What did you think of Kenobi? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Comment all of your thoughts in the comment section below. With that being said, guys, please don't forget to check out that Twitter. That's going to pop up on your screen right now. And also, please note that this is the way the video is going to be structured. We're going to have the episode recap in the beginning of the video. And the latter half, we're going to have a full-on spoiler review for the entire series. And with that being said, guys, now since we know the rules and the regulations of our review/rants, let's get right into the rant. Alright, so we kick off the episode with Reva returning to Tatooine looking for Obi-Wan. How did she survive? Like, come on, like, Vader is the lesser of a threat because of the fact that she survived. She got stabbed with a lightsaber when she was little during Order 66, and then 10 years later, she gets stabbed again by freaking Darth Vader, and she doesn't die. Oh my god, it's so frustrating that they wrote this character this way. Cut to Darth Vader and the rest of the Empire right on Obi-Wan's trail. There we learn that Obi-Wan plans to leave the people, including Leia, on the ship to guide Vader away because he knows that Vader is the one that he wants. Then we go back to Tatooine with Beru and Owen preparing for Reva's return. Obi-Wan then gives Leia a gun holster. It's just a nice little a nice little scene in there between Obi-Wan and Leia. A multiple amount of scenes like this inside of the entire show, especially in this finale. And says his goodbye as he leaves the ship and leads Vader away. Roken then brings up, it's not really about the people to Obi-Wan, it's about him and Vader and his guilt. And I really like that. That's one of the interesting ideas that this show has, is that Obi-Wan feels guilty, that Anakin is his failure, and that all of this, Order 66, the fall of the Republic, all of it happened under his watch. All of it is his fault. And I love the fact that Roken brings that up, saying that it's not about us, it's about you. And it's about Vader. It goes back to that scene with him and Owen in the beginning of the series. You don't care about him, you care if he's showing. Vader then gets in his own drop ship and faces Obi-Wan himself. It's an awesome standoff between the two. It's just so much fun seeing these two prime Jedi battle. It's so good, but the drama behind it makes it so much better. Cut to Owen and Beru fighting off Reva to hide Luke. This whole entire episode, I have a little bit of issues with, because they cut up the fight between Vader and Obi-Wan to go simultaneously with Reva on the pursuit for Luke. And to me, I feel like one was just enough. One fight between Vader and Obi-Wan would have been enough. So cut back to Vader and Obi-Wan fighting, where Vader says Obi-Wan's strength has returned. So Vader does get the best of Obi-Wan because his strength is returning at a slower rate. And he buries him underneath some rocks. But Obi-Wan, being the Jedi that he is, holds the rocks above him with the Force. It was a cool scene, honestly. We have flashbacks to the prequels, and also we have flashbacks to the rest of the episodes before. And to me, I felt like that was a missed opportunity to have Qui-Gon Force Ghost come. In his time of need, this is the time that he needs his master, Qui-Gon, the most. We've been teasing it right when he's at the lowest level. Qui-Gon Jinn appears, give him some words of wisdom. It's not your fault. He rises the rocks off of him. But instead, we have flashbacks to the prequels. But mostly, it was just flashbacks to the episodes in the beginning of the series, or the episodes that came before this episode. I felt like it would have been narratively better if we just showed Qui-Gon. I think it would have been epic if he just showed Qui-Gon. But after this, he breaks through and confronts Vader. And then we just have a full display of his strength. He raises all the rocks in the field, throws them at Vader. Then him and Vader have another lightsaber duel. Awesome, epic, beautifully choreographed. I love the way the blue and the red clash against each other. And then Obi-Wan gets the best of Vader and cuts his helmet in half. Beautiful, emotional conversation about Vader not being Obi-Wan's failure, and solidifying that Anakin is dead and Vader is all that remains. That conversation is what I was waiting for the entire show. I was waiting for the entire show. Actually, in fact, in episode 3, when they had the conversation, when they had the confrontation, that was amazing because I just love the fact that they recognized that Order 66 is something that happened. The fall of the Republic was detrimental to the universe, and it happened 10 years ago. And the drama and just the guilt of it all surrounding these characters, how epic that feels, how Shakespearean that feels. I loved it. I loved it. When they touched on the Obi-Wan and Vader stuff, they did this show right. Also, the cut of his helmet, very reminiscent of Rebels. I've never seen Rebels. I just know that it's very reminiscent of that episode with him and Ahsoka. Obi-Wan then leaves Vader to help Owen and Beru find Luke and stop Reva. Now, Luke, while he was running away from Reva, he knocks himself out. I don't know why I need to say that. But once Reva has a chance to kill him, she hesitates. She sees a younger version of herself in Luke and herself now as the Sith Anakin. So she's good now. Like, she sees, oh, Luke is like little me and I'm kind of like Anakin. Is this who I've become? Like, this is all I've known for the past 10 years. Hunt the Jedi down. Is this all I've become? And this is truly where the actress gets to show her most emotional and her best acting. This is the only episode she gets to do that. Reva then brings Luke back, and Obi-Wan consoles her. Just a horrible character, honestly. I'll touch on it. I'll touch on it more in the review. I feel as though she should have died in episode 5, but like I said, I'll touch more on it in the review. Back on the Mustafar, Vader talks to Ian McDiarmid's Palpatine, which makes sense. I think that makes sense because it rounds out this whole entire show. Why wouldn't Palpatine show up? He's the mastermind behind all of this. Epilogue happens where Leia, with her new blaster holster, says goodbye to Obi-Wan. Teases the Empire growing. I really like that stuff. And Obi-Wan also talks to Leia about Padme and Anakin are both in Leia. Both of their traits are what make Leia Leia, and I love that. I really love that. So now, back on Tatooine, while preparing to leave, Obi-Wan grabs the toy and tries to drop it off for Luke, and then Owen offers him to see Luke. And it was so great seeing Ewan McGregor's smile. It made me cry, honestly. It was such a beautiful scene, and just to see him just have a grin on his face, because this is all he wanted. All he wanted to do was give this toy to Luke. He wanted to meet Luke, and it was just a fantastic scene. They did that scene so well, and just that smile that he had on his face, and him walking up to Luke and saying hello there, it pulled on my heartstrings a lot. So last little shot of the episode, Obi-Wan is walking away, and then he sees a Force ghost. And who is it? It's Liam Neeson's Qui-Gon Jinn as a Force ghost. And, to me, I felt like they misplaced this Force ghost a lot. It was kind of like a tacked on moment. Oh, you got much more to learn. Well, why in the freaking prequels recap did we have Master Qui-Gon? You have so much to learn. Like, why did we have that in the first episode in the recap if 5 weeks later, at the final scene of the finale, we're gonna get the Force ghost? It makes no sense. End of episode. Alright, so that concludes our rant section for the Obi-Wan finale. Comment down below, what did you guys think of the finale? This video is way overdue, like 3 weeks late, 3 to 4 weeks late. And actually the intro to this whole entire video, the review for this whole entire video, the outro for the whole entire video was done. I just didn't do the episode breakdown section, this rant section. So the section that you're hearing right now was filmed in July, whereas the other ones were filmed in June. The Obi-Wan movie had came out. It was like 2 hours, a fan edit of it, and I was gonna watch it before I did this rant and try to do comparisons in there. I just didn't have the time to, but I will watch that 2-hour movie cut. But with all of that out of the way, probably didn't even make it this far in the video. Let's get right into our review section, starting off with the good. And the good thing that comes to mind here is that there's a version of this project that is a 2-hour movie about this Obi-Wan traversing the galaxy with the guilt of Vader and the failure of the Republic's death. And clearly, you can see that the show tries to tackle that 2-hour movie while stretching it to fit the 6-episode event template. This show does justice to Obi-Wan's and Vader's story, providing us a more emotional arc for this Jedi, solidifying him as one of the best Star Wars characters. I really like the vibe of the show as well. Since it was announced, I felt as though this could work because there is a story there. Ewan McGregor continues to kill it in this role, and you could just tell he's having a blast and he loves this character. And he brings a level of sadness to this character, but also there's hopefulness during this time. He's still on mission, and I feel like a lot of people are going to really like this interpretation of the older hermit, of the guy who believes that the Jedi should die. I feel like they're going to appreciate and grasp on more to this one because we saw and we can clearly understand why he's in such a tormented and tortured and depressed state right now and why he cut himself off from the Force. It's been 10 years, why he's so dusty using a lightsaber. I feel like everybody's going to gravitate more towards that than they will the Last Jedi Luke. And I love Last Jedi Luke, but I can see a lot of people, the general audience, gravitating more towards this version of Obi-Wan. Hayden Christensen as Vader, and also Vader in general, I feel like Obi-Wan and Vader were the greatest things about this show, and that was one of the things that I was very looking forward to, was the conversation between Obi-Wan and Vader. If they were going to duel, I want to see them have a conversation. And I feel like in the finale, when they did have that conversation, I am not your failure, you didn't kill Anakin, I did, that was incredible. That was a really incredible stuff. I like seeing the characters talk about what happened. I like seeing the characters talk about the Republic died, the Jedi are dead, Anakin, the Chosen One, became Darth Vader. That's scary, and I feel like in a time like this, to where it just happened 10 years ago, it may seem long to us. It might have felt short to the Jedi. It might have felt short to Obi-Wan. I feel like when they were talking about it, what happened with Revenge of the Sith, the tragedy, it was incredible. The lightsaber duels inside of this show, I mean, they go right back to the prequels lightsaber duels, where it's actually being choreographed, and it's not just them swinging swords around, it's not just them bashing swords together. I really liked that, and I really appreciated that it was actual choreography this time. And also just the emotions, the drama of it. Like I said, I love hearing them talk about what happened in Revenge of the Sith, and hearing them talk about and just seeing the overall emotional torment that these characters are going through. The fact that Anakin fell to the dark side, and we see how that affected Obi-Wan. I think the drama of this show, it worked. But there was a lot of issues. So let's move right into the bad. And the bad thing that comes to mind here is that Reva, that's a big thing. Big, bad thing that comes to mind. Look, the racial comments that the actress received, and I want to get serious here because I am a black male. The racial comments that my fellow black sister received, she's not actually my sister, but, you know, my fellow black actress received is terrible. Why? What is wrong with the Star Wars fandom nowadays? Why every time when we have change, every time we have something that's representative, people hate it? They can't accept the fact that not everyone in the world is a straight white male. I don't get it. And them knowing that, the studio, Lucasfilm, Disney, them knowing that, them knowing and them warning this actress that she was going to get racial comments, why didn't they give her the best of the best material to work with? Because I'm sure she's a fine actress. No hate to her, because I've heard that she's won awards. But her character to me was really, really terrible. They could not make me care about this character from the jump. I was being a little bit softer on her in the first couple of episodes. I know, because a lot of people were being hard on her, during the internet. But now since the show is over with, what was the point of her character? And I did not care about her. They really should have gave her the best of the best material to work with. And it's sad because this is another fellow African American actor in Star Wars, a fellow POC actor in Star Wars that's just not given the best material. Kelly Marie Tran, John Boyega, Billy D. Williams in the freaking Rise of Skywalker. It's terrible what they're doing. And I love Star Wars, but they got to make a change. And the Star Wars fandom got to make a change as well. But going back to my bad, the episodes were really a roller coaster. The first episode was great to me. Second episode, not as much. Third episode, good. Fourth episode, meh. Fifth and sixth episodes were good. So the show was just up and down in quality levels for me. I also felt as though they had a central idea for this show, and they just built the show around that. They had the ending, they had where they wanted to end the show, and they had the beginning, but the middle, they couldn't really crack the code on the journey. The characters we meet along the way aren't memorable. And also I felt as though we had a slight waste of Hayden Christensen. And that's sad because I elaborated this more on the regular podcast. You guys can go over there and check that video out. That link is in the description. But I felt as though we should have had more Hayden Christensen than what we had in the finale, as well as that flashback scene an episode before the finale. Yes, he's in the suit. Yes, he's walking around on set. Yes, he's going to be in Ahsoka, which I can't wait. I can't wait to see him in Ahsoka. But why? What was the point of bringing him back if you're just going to do a flashback episode? I feel like he was a little bit wasted, and they just brought him back for fan service. And Vader, authority-wise, this is my last negative point. Vader, authority-wise, is weak. Reva should not have lived past the first 3 episodes. She should not have lived past any of that. She shouldn't have lived past a lightsaber going through her chest by Darth Vader. It makes Darth Vader look like a joke. It makes him look less menacing. He snapped the kid's neck using the Force just because. But with Reva, he doesn't kill her immediately after she defies him. I feel like Vader would do something like that. Overall, there are a lot of negatives about this show. In conclusion, Obi-Wan Kenobi, for me, the journey was rocky. The first 3 episodes to me were fun and great, showing a Jedi that witnessed the fall of the Republic and his Padawan, and how that guilt affects him, tortures him, but also makes him determined. Overall, the show has massive flaws and never touched the same quality as The Mandalorian. But I have to say, I enjoyed it enough. I'm giving Obi-Wan Kenobi a B- and a 7 out of 10. And I would say episodes 1, 3, 5, and 6 were great. And it's a really great movie. That's a really great 2-hour movie. But 4 and 2, not so much. And overall, there were a lot of things inside of the show that was just laughable and dumb. And I don't really understand the directing choice for some of it. It's a polarizing show for me. It's a frustrating show for me, just like Boba Fett. Because there's some really great things in there. Really great, amazing stuff in the show. But the rest was just meh. And I don't want to use the word mid. The rest of it was just meh. Alright guys, that was it for the review/rant. Please know that everything that I did say in this video was just my very own opinion. And you are free to comment down below. What did you think of the Obi-Wan series as a whole? Like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Please don't forget to check out that Twitter. That's going to pop up on your screen right now. With that being said, guys, by the time you're watching this video, I will be on a cruise ship. So by the time you're watching the Toy Story ranking, the Jurassic World rankings, and this video, I'm going to be on a cruise. They're all pre-recorded. So, yeah, with that being said, I'll see you all next time. Peace.